Hey everybody, welcome to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and also tells you why a helmet is actually pretty important in airsoft at times. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, and welcome back. I want to say first off, thank you so much last week for giving me so much input on the patch ideas for what we're going to be doing next with the Airsoftology patch. I got a lot of great stuff from you guys and some stuff I didn't even think about. And that's why I love you guys. You give so many great recommendations. So I'm going to be bringing those all in, kind of working through them all, and trust me when I say this, there'll be some neat stuff coming soon on the Airsoftology merch store. Also want to say a big thanks and a huge shout out to a new segment sponsor. We've added Code Red headsets to the Airsoftology family, and they're going to be sponsoring the Video of the Week segment. I think it's a great fit. So again, welcome to Code Red headsets to the family, and I'm sure we'll be doing some more things with them a little soon as well. So again, stay tuned right on here. Also in the last week, I want to talk about a couple things I got, and specifically this. I'm excited about getting this in my gun. If you guys watched the episode of the show a couple months ago, I got the Airsoft Systems Control Unit Gen 3. Now it's been in one of my guns for a while. Now this is the Gen 4. So I'm kind of doing a side-by-side to show you what you get from the Gen 3 to the Gen 4. I didn't think there's gonna be much of a difference, but when I got this in from the guys at ASG, I was really surprised to see how much they've changed. I mean, it's pretty much an entire overhaul. And if you guys don't know what this is, it's a MOSFET trigger replacement. So it's gonna be going into my gun very shortly. So stay tuned. It'll be coming up in a couple weeks. I want to get it in and get it really tested out well before I can give my final thoughts on it. And also again, show you the difference between the Gen 3 and then the Gen 4. But enough about what's been going on. Let's dive on into your questions. Complex Airsoft writes, would you recommend a $150 gun with $150 of upgrades, or would you use all $300 on a $300 gun? Thanks, keep up the great videos. Okay, actually this is a pretty easy one, and I get this a lot. People asking about getting a gun and then upgrading it or diving into something a little more high-end. I would absolutely say positively, if you have the funds, if you can do it, jump on up to that $300 level. You get a lot of things. I mean, if you look at, like, for example, Elite Force, when you get to that $300 range, you get a 1-year warranty on a lot of their products. On their Elite line, you can get VFC guns. There's tons of great VFC guns out there. You can pick up the Crytac, and you know I love my Crytac as well. There's really a lot of great options. G&G and their GT series, their top end used to be called the Top Tech line, but now it's called the GT. So there's a lot of things you can get in that like $300 range, and I'd say far above and beyond what you could take a $150 gun and even put $150 worth of upgrades into. Which would you rather do? If it costs you the same on both, then yeah, go ahead and get the nicer thing. But if it doesn't, if you only have like a limited budget, definitely get something good. At 150 bucks, you're gonna be a little bit low, like on the low end of where I would recommend. Most of the guns I'd really start recommending that are, I would say, competitive, are right around that $200 range. So yeah, if you got the 300 bones, go for it. Mason Bernstein writes, hey Jonathan, I cannot figure this out. What is Speedsoft? Is the only difference that they wear black, or is there more? Thanks. Black and dye I4 masks. No, I'm kidding. Actually, that is kind of common though. I know it's kind of cliche, but no, with Speedsoft, I think there's a couple elements that really encompass it. And if you guys don't know, Speedsoft is that really fast airsoft. Yeah, it started really in California and overseas. You see it a lot in the Philippines. Some of the guys in Hawaii play it, certain fields, and it really comes out of like paintball, the speedball part of paintball. So it's kind of, that's when they call it Speedsoft, to match speedball for paintball. So what it is, you'll see a lot of people that do really light loadouts, like nothing at all, like they're jamming mags in their pockets, they're wearing loose and baggy clothing. You see a lot of black. They don't really care about camouflage or anything like that. You'll see a lot of civilian clothes, or you'll even see paintball clothes, like loose baggy paintball stuff with the pads in it. You'll see them run really fast. They typically wear tennis shoes instead of boots. And their guns are gonna be really stripped down externally, really built for lightweight. You're not gonna see a lot of accessories like lights and lasers and all that junk on there. You might see a flashlight though. I think a lot of the guys who play Speedsoft do that, especially indoors, so they can walk their BBs in. Typically too with Speedsoft, you're gonna see full auto, you're gonna see high caps at minimum, and definitely a lot of box mags mixed into that, and a higher rate of fire. It's definitely a run and gun, pose them down kind of play style, and they will run up fast and you know, kind of try to overwhelm the competition. You'll see a lot of guys in the field off the break. The Speed Softers will typically be the first ones out, which actually, believe it or not, is a good strategy when you play airsoft, because if you're playing in an indoor field, if both you guys start on either side and you get to the middle together, well, that's kind of where the battle line starts. But if you have a group that, like, let's say this group over here is really fast and they rush up, well, the battle line's not in the middle anymore. The battle line's like over here, and that gives your team a better advantage. Even if they all get shot down, your team is now pushed up to that line and they've set the line farther ahead in the field. So yeah, there is some merit to speed softing from a strategy to try to win in an indoor arena. But yeah, in my opinion, that's kind of what sets the speed softers apart. William Labont writes, are Airsoft Fast helmets really worth it? I run full ACU as my standard camo, and I picked up a boonie from a thrift store that matches the camo. But my main question is, are there any obvious benefits from a Fast helmet or any other helmets over a boonie hat besides camera mounts? You know, there are. Actually, this is my helmet right here, and agreeably, it is the #1 reason I wear this anywhere is for the camera mount. I put a mount right here on the front. I've got my GoPro mounted right here normally. But I will tell you this, playing indoor, playing faster games, and even playing outside like at milsim events or fields that have multiple levels of play, this thing has saved me many a time. Or this, and I've had a couple other helmets. I actually had an Ops Core bump, a real one, prior to this. This is the Team Windy LTP is what this one is. It's the polycarbonate version. So yeah, I have fallen. I have taken pretty nasty hits in the head. I've tripped over objects. I've slammed my head into walls. There's a lot of times this helmet has saved my tail, or my noggin for that matter. So for me and the way I play, I can get a little aggressive, and especially playing outside of these milsim ops, and some of these fields and these structures at milsim events especially are a little iffy at times, you know, because you're like factories and military mount facilities and things like that. So having extra bit of safety is really important. In fact, if you kind of go back, I think under Jet, he had a video a long time ago, I think from last year. I want to say it was from Faded Giant last year, his series. He, one of the guys, JP, one of the owners of American Milsim, took a fall while they were carrying him out trying to extract him as a prisoner. He didn't have a helmet on, and he like ripped his ear up really bad. I mean, it was bleeding pretty good, and he had to get it all fixed and stuff like that. So that was one of those times having a helmet really would have helped. And I think I've never seen JP in the field without a helmet after that, come to think of it. So yeah, there are other benefits aside from a camera platform for helmets. Brian Adams writes, hey Jonathan, what do you think of a team buying a house for the use of strictly airsoft, containing a barracks, armory, locker room, showers, and a common room for relaxation? Would you visit one to see how it turned out, or would you look down upon it as a waste of money? Keep in mind that this is an all volunteered cash from teammates of about 25 to 30 players. Man, are you kidding me? That'd be freaking awesome. I'd love it. I wish I could have like an Airsoftology team house. It kind of reminds me like a fraternity house, you know, back in college. And yeah, I was in one back in the day, so it'd be kind of a throwback, living the old glory days. But yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. A place to hang out, stage up. If you're gonna make a weekend out of playing a game, especially if you have a great field locally and you guys can use that to stage out of, heck yeah. I mean, my team, we've been talking about trying to go in and buying like a vehicle and convert it into like a technical or something like that. So if you have the funds to do a house, absolutely get all over that. Enemy Crab 9 writes, hey John, please shave your beard. Seriously, get out. Get out of my comment section. How dare you ask to shave my beard? Costin Simon writes, hey there, I was wondering if you guys know and or tried the tag-in grenades for launchers. My problem is that how would people react to them? Actually, I have. If you go back, I've got a video somewhere in my back catalog. I'll try to put a link down in the description below for you guys of showing one getting shot at, I think it was Broken Home 2 years ago, Operation Broken Home. Yeah, a guy named Connor had them, and we launched one out to show how it would shoot. As for it, yes, they're allowed at certain events. I know Milsim West allows them and American Milsim. I don't know about the other events. I don't think they're really banned anywhere. And there are different versions of them. Some do explode on impact, some explode on a timer, some are just chalk marking, and some are just dummy rounds, so they just kind of like foam, nothing big deal there. I think they also had like a smoke grenade one. I don't think it ever made it out though. But yeah, on those, most people seem to react like anything. They're not that big of an explosion. They're nothing like their hand grenades. Have you guys seen the tag in hand grenades? Like the RB2S, I think, or something like that, what they're called. They have like a powder version, an airsoft version. There's also less loud, way less loud than a Thunderbee. So for me, it works really well. They've been really safe from my experience. I've seen them shot at trucks. I've seen them shot at people. They don't cause any harm at all. So yeah, they're actually pretty effective and surprisingly pretty accurate. Beardless Dwarf Gaming writes, dear Jonathan, is there any way to play with your dog in airsoft? Now, I got this question from a lot of people, I guess because I brought up dogs last week, and as much as I think it'd be really cool, it's not a good thing to do. I mean, you're talking about projectiles, even if you get those doggles, actually they call them, they're called doggles, doggy goggles, and you put like a vest on your dog, and if they've got a lot of fur, there's gonna be that jerk or a couple jerks that are going to shoot at the dog a lot. I think that's bad, and how your dog reacts to BBs may not be the best, and there could be people that are afraid of dogs out there. So there's a lot of things to really consider. Even if you have the nicest, most calm and great dog, leave the dog in the safe area. You know, hang out if you got friends, they can hang out there, but don't bring them on the field. As much as I'd like a tactical corgi in the battlefield, I'm gonna leave little Chloe back in the safe area. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, and it's time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week, and this one comes from Matt, NSW Red Team over in France. If you guys haven't known, if you guys watched the video recommendation of the week, I'm a big fan of a lot of this French airsoft, and the places they get to play are so cool, and I found this channel too. It's another great one. He plays at the Wild Trigger sites, and if you guys, I've actually done some research on this, and I didn't know they existed. Wild Trigger, while I thought was like a retailer, is actually an event company over there. They actually own a bunch of different sites, and that's where you get to see all these things like the hostel and the estate, and where a lot of this is a compilation video, and I really had to like it because it has Jack White in it, and Jack White's a local Nashville, Tennessee guy just like me, so kind of drew me in on that one. But the gameplay is great. I love the way these guys play, the honor, the hit calling, the politeness, and the fun, and there's something about like the purity of these events I just think are so neat. It just seems a little less stressful than some of the bigger games or fields I've seen around here in the US. Not to say that US is bad, because I have a ton of fun playing. It just seems there's a little more fair play at these. I don't know why, it's kind of different like that. But anyway, check it out. It's Matt from NSW Red Team. I have a link to his channel in the description below, and this is from his estate video. Well, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you had a fantastic 4th of July weekend. Last weekend, I don't know if you guys got a chance to go out and play at all. Unfortunately here, it was a ton of rain, so that kind of stunk and kept us in the house and actually kept the fireworks displays to a minimum. But the good news is, because of that, I got to keep all 10 of my fingers, because I'm not the best when it comes to fireworks. But yeah, let me know what you guys did for the 4th of July. I'm curious if you guys are in the States, and if you're not in the States, like for example, if you're in England, did you celebrate the tyranny of the colonists by throwing tea at us or something? Let me know down there in the comment section below. But guys, as always, thank you so much for coming here. And speaking of the comments, thank you so much for helping each other out down there. I love the community. And I say this every week. I know it's like a broken record, but you guys are so awesome down there helping each other out, because you know I can't answer every single question as much as I wish I could. And if you want to get your question on the show, it's simple. Put it in the comment section below. Vote up your favorites and be persistent. I can only get like 5 or 6 in a show. So if you don't get yours on this week, keep putting them in the newest show, and I'll make sure it eventually gets in the show, because trust me, I read every single one. Well guys, thanks a bunch, and I'll see you next week. But until then, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits. Play some airsoft, but never mind. Well guys, thanks a bunch for watching. It's been this episode of The Gear Guy. Have some fun, play some airsoft, but no matter I can't say my own thing. Well guys, thanks a bunch. Go out. Do 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 do.